All right, session B. So session B is going to include pull-ups, single leg squats or regressions, progressions, as well as bench/floor press. So for week 1, we are working on our pull-ups, working up to a really great set of 3. Couple different options. So they're going to start with 7 for their first round. They're going to do 5 rounds and they'll do 5, 4, 3. If they want, they can use bands. It's probably the easiest way to see progressions. If they are capable of doing standard pull-ups, more than likely they're just going to naturally get maybe a little bit more tired as they go through it. But if they want to add a weighted pull-up, so say they can do 7 body weight standard pull-ups, they could do weighted pull-ups. What they're going to do is hook a bell onto their foot and use that as a weighted pull-up option. You can also do a feet assisted, so having the bar just a little bit lower than shoulder height, cueing them to hang under the bar in a vertical pull position, so their arms should be pretty close to directly up overhead, and then using their feet as little as possible. Big squeeze of the shoulders, the lats at the top here. If that's too easy, they can always go to 1 foot, but this one's easy to cheat. If you tell them to pull first with their upper body and only use their feet as needed, that tends to help. I think that's all the options for pull-ups. So those will switch between pull-ups and chin-ups. Then they have a single arm floor press. We're going to do this one with our feet up. So feet up in the air. Starting on the ground, I like to set up the same way I would a get up over the chest. Opposite hand can either mimic that same side or go down to the side. Feet up, making sure you're pressing your low back into the ground. I like to see the knees at a 90-90 angle, and then they're going to press from here. So the reason I would cue arm up is that way they still have to use their core to fight the balance, or the imbalance rather, on the way down. That's a great option if you see that people maybe need it to be a little bit heavier but don't want to necessarily go up above. And then last but not least, in our strength subsection, we're going to do feet together squat. This is a really great regression for learning the pistol squat. Is bringing everything in line. So they're going to do a nice big goblet clean. Feet as close to each other or right next to each other as possible. And as they sit down into their squat, allowing them to reach a little bit forward with that bell to work as a counterbalance is a great tool as well. Making sure that they're getting that butt below their knee crease. Then we have a very quick 9-minute hit, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds rest. They're going to either do body weight squats, nice and quick ones, and jump squats. Then they have an overhead plate march, so they're going to need a plate. We're working on strengthening that overhead position, as you can see with our warm-up. So 2 hands marching, okay? Make sure when they're reaching up overhead, just like in the warm-up, you're cueing rib cage down, knees up nice and high. Okay, and then the last one, Russian twist. Feet on the floor.